Hello everyone. Good evening. Instead of Kiran, I am in front of you today. This is Murali Valiveti, the chairman of this program. Very happy to be with you. Mr. Kiran invited me on a special purpose. He wanted me to give you one training session. That's the reason why I'm here. It would have been a lot more interesting had it been an interactive session, but because of the limitations on infrastructure and technology, as more people are comfortable with YouTube Live at schools and on IFP panels, we are using this medium. Let's see, we will use YouTube Live for some more weeks probably and improvise for two-way communication down the line to the extent that we can. Yeah. Today, the agenda is talking about one skill. Uh, we selected poster presentation as a topic for training. I will take you through different aspects to it. Then, the agenda given is about the incoming or forthcoming competitions, probably kind of revised leaderboard of the clubs, and we could also look at one of the Avishkar winners, their work, their video. Let's see how much we can cover today. It is based on the time that would permit. I guess the time is until 4 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, is the audio not good enough? Okay, at my end, it is the mic that is in full, so I don't think I can do something more than that. Done. So let's get started. The very purpose of bringing me in today is to take you through a training module. Now, I'll try to be as slow as I can because I'm told that there is a slight lag in YouTube live streaming. So let's see. I will first share the screen. Mhm. All right. Okay. Many of you probably are familiar with this website, youngscientistindia.org. This is where the entire knowledge is. With each week, there's more and more coming in this place. Just to share my happiness down the line, I think in a year or two, this will be one of the richest websites in terms of innovation knowledge, innovation skills, and information on science and innovation competitions. So, this is the website for Young Scientist Program. And today's topic, which is basically a training module, is also a part of the website. There is a section called knowledge bases, and in knowledge bases, the second topic is training modules. So I'm selecting that, and then here there are good number of training modules published already for your consumption. In fact, these are training modules that have been published in the magazine already. Every month there is a copy of Young Scientist India magazine, and In each magazine, there are at least two training modules. So, one of them covered in the issues so far is poster presentations. This one, I'm going to cover this subject today. If you recall, the very first one in this list is 5Ws and 1H. Some of you enjoyed practicing this technique, learning the technique and practicing it some time ago. I think during Dasara holidays or a little earlier than that. Today, we are going to look at poster presentations. That is this third one in the second row. All right. So when I talk about training modules being available on the website, so effectively, if we click on any of those modules, you would receive a beautiful PDF giving you all the necessary information on how to acquire that skill, how to learn that technique. That is why we call it as a training module. So, on poster presentations as well, there is an innovation training module and it is available on youngscientistindia.org website. Well, talking about poster presentations, I'm particularly pleased that today I was on the jury in the evaluation panel of a competition cum science seminar of the education department. It is on quantum technologies. The age of quantum technologies is now. What are the advantages and challenges? That was the subject, and the presentation was basically using posters like this. So it was a very good coincidence. I will also share a couple of samples from that competition today. Now let's get into the actual training on poster presentations. Okay, I'm sharing a PPT with you. Thanks to Vanilla, she helped me on uh, giving this PPT. In fact, she was the author of that article as well, because I was in this seminar competition in one of the schools today. That was the district level competition conducted by the education department. She helped. So we are now going to talk on poster presentation subject. Let's look at the agenda. What is a poster presentation? And then we'll talk about why they are special and different steps to winning a competition in poster presentations. So, starting with the definitions, a poster is a visual summary of either your project or a concept that you wanted to express. Of course, when you present it, it becomes a poster presentation. However, fundamentally, we're talking about a decent poster. It may be a slide also, but vertical poster is what we typically refer to posters as. It is a visual summary, meaning whatever you wanted to convey, you try to bring photos, charts, etc., with text and different colors that you use, bigger font size, smaller font size. They reflect the significance of various components, correct? So it is a visual summary, and for most of the kids, it is like a movie poster, but it is related to your research. Many a time, when you want to know what a particular movie is, what is the new movie coming up? Viswambhara, I think, or we recently had OG. Before we go to a movie, we look at the poster see who the actors are, what kind of theme it is, what are the captions they put, and then we decide whether to go for a movie or not, right? So, this poster, although this is the context of a science innovation or a technology, still it is like a movie poster. It tells your story in an engaging and interactive way. There's a difference between, let's say, essay writing, elocution, and poster presentation. In elocution, you speak one way. In case of a poster presentation, you demonstrate, you present the poster, and also interact with your audiences. So it is an engaging mechanism. It is also used not in schools but in offices. Tomorrow, when you students become employees, join projects in companies, you would use techniques like these. When you needed to do a paper or an essay or a proposal, that 5Ws and 1H kind of a technique would help. When you need to stand in front of people and share your idea, a poster presentation technique would help. So that's a poster, and the concept is sharing an idea in an interactive way. To look at a few more advantages, let's see why posters are special. These posters are interactive, meaning they help talking with the audiences. Like I said, in an elocution, you talk to your audience, but you don't interact with them. Here, the keyword is talking with them versus talking at them. So, posters typically help an interactive session. Posters are more personal. They help connect one on one or in small groups. Sometimes you may want to meet with your teacher or a boss somewhere. You could simply use a poster and then discuss the topic, or it may be a small group of people where you display the poster and talk through the content. Typically, in a poster, unlike an essay, you will use graphics, photos, diagrams, etc., and they become a visual story. So, posters are typically for visual storytelling. Like I said earlier, if you want to grab the attention of your audiences, want to get a reputation that you're good in communication, speaking skills, presentation skills, etc., this could be a vital skill to get such reputation, not just in the college, in school, college, tomorrow, even in business. Now, let's look at acquiring this skill and making an impactful presentation. Typically, you can look at it as a four-step approach. If you look at the topic as a poster presentation competition like what I attended today in an RNPM school, Chirala, that's a competition. There you talk about winning the competition, but otherwise also it could be a business presentation, it could be a concept presentation, it could be a project presentation. Either way, look at it as four steps. First, plan your strategy. Second, prepare a stunning layout and design. Look at it like crafting. Then, practice and deliver the message. Practice to deliver the message, rather. After that, you will be in a position to interact and talk. Let us explore each of these steps in terms of how we master it. Okay. The first step is planning the strategy. So when we say plan your strategy, you need to understand who you are going to present this to. That is understanding the audiences. Also, you should ask what is the objective of this poster presentation? What is their interest? What is the expected outcome? Accordingly, you will be able to make the poster stronger, more connecting, more impactful, and you will also be able to deliver it, meaning present it more effectively. So, understand the audiences, understand the objectives, understand what they will gain by attending your poster presentation. As a part of that itself, you now need to look at the structure of how you're going to do your presentation. Outline a logical structure and put a clear headline to each section of the poster. Remember, in a poster presentation, like Kaushal, you typically work with only one poster. I attended Kaushal competition a couple of years ago as a judge in Bapatla Engineering College. I think the topic on the day was a poster presentation on the scientist J.C. Bose. So it's because the topic is the same. Everybody would make posters and bring similar content. So it is very important on how you present the same content which other people are also going to present. Because information on Dr. Bose would be the same. How do you win that competition? By making it more interesting. So, outline a logical structure in terms of how you're going to present. For example, there is a poster here shown uh, typically to understand how it looks. So, let me see how I can share this poster in full screen mode. Yeah. So, there is the title, and then there is a subtitle of the caption. After that, this entire poster is broken down into a few sections, three in this row, and then there is a segregation of the area by means of color. After that, again, there are some visuals, some graphics like clouds, rain, etc. And you are using different font sizes to distinguish font sizes as well as colors to distinguish between various data elements. So, this is what I was talking about. Outline a logical structure with clear headlines. That's how we should look at it. And then, whatever you write, because it is a poster containing multiple sections, you have to be very concise. You should not write long sentences as headings. You should not write sentences in the content either. So, being concise is very, very important. Another good thing to practice is coming up with catchy titles. For example, in this poster, they are using the title Climate Change. Somebody may put a controversial statement, somebody put a quotation, brief one though, short one though. However, try to come up with a catchy title. So, we're talking about understanding the audiences, understanding their expectations, objective of our presentation, our own objective, and other aspects before we get started. Then structure the content in a logical order, apply Tactics like colors, graphics, etc., have a very concise, short titles and get on with the practice. So the second step is crafting a stunning layout and design. This is a logical continuation from the previous step. You have thought about what to present. You had a clear understanding of audiences as well as the objective of the session. Now you are putting all those elements into structuring the chart itself, the poster itself. One important aspect is not to put too many things in the chart, in the poster. You have to have some empty spaces here and there. Yeah, here there is a word used, crowd. Don't crowd the poster, meaning don't put too many things in the poster. In fact, the example on the right side here has too many elements already, but general suggestion is not to put for the entire space. The next one is in terms of the headlines. You have to use at least 48 points in terms of the point size, font size for the heading, and 24 points for the matter, for the text in between. In the other example that I showed earlier, if you look at this, the heading is climate change, big enough, but here is some text that is very small in font size. One has to zoom out because this soft copy, but your audiences, if it is a print poster, would not be able to read much. So don't use small fonts. And then use colors that provide good contrast. It should be the text should be readable when we go back and print. At the same time, when you use graphics charts, use HD quality images, sharp images. Even in today's presentation, when some people brought their posters as PPT slides, they took images from internet, embedded them in their PPTs, and some of those images were pretty poor in quality. So you have to use sharp images, high quality images, and when you use charts and diagrams, make sure that they are not too clumsy. So we talked about strategizing the poster and crafting a good design as well as a layout. Let's look at the third step, delivering a clear message. You already structured it. Now you need to practice how you want to speak out, detail, etc. So here you should start with a short, punchy headline, 6 to 8 words. Already we talked about being precise. Then arranging the content logically, either top to bottom or left to right, depending on the culture, of course. In India or in the West, normally it is left to right and top to bottom. So you need to arrange the content in a logical manner, and wherever possible, instead of paragraphs and sentences, use bullet points. In fact, today when I was talking to those students in the school, I was giving a hint on 6 by 6 rule. Typically, in a slide, when you make a PPT, it is advisable to use not more than 6 bullets and not more than 6 words in each bullet. Many people just copy paste the entire paragraph and fill the slide with too many sentences. Your audiences in front of you, sitting a bit far, will not be able to read all this text. If they have to read, then you can as well give out a handout. Why talk about a PPT? If it's a PPT, it should be with short content. bullet points, short number of words, small number of words. Also, earlier we talked about the space not to be filled completely. Same thing here. Aim for 30 to 40% of the poster to be empty. Have blank space. That makes the poster more readable. Also, the parts where the content is would get significance. Your audiences will be focusing on those headings, those graphics, etc. The last point over there is having essential sections. Always have a title, mention the context, and when you speak, give your observations, results, and if possible, in the poster itself, cover these sections and give a conclusion. Remember, you are using this poster as an aid in your presentation. Poster presentation is a technique to convey the status of a project or a research outcome or a business proposal or some kind of a theme. There are so many ways in which you can convey items like this, like we discussed about the elocution at the beginning. You can simply go onto the stage and speak out. You can take a printout and give to people. Poster presentation is one such technique. Then you may use one poster or multiple posters, and in those posters, the structure should have that logical conclusion. By the end of that presentation, you convey what you wanted to convey. That is why essential sections like these are recommended. Have a title, mention the context, discuss observations, slowly showing results, move towards conclusion. The last step in gaining control on poster presentation skill is getting ready to talk. There is a saying, the practice makes a man perfect. However good your poster is, if you do not read it well upfront and then practice even in your mind, not necessarily in front of audiences, you may or may not succeed. In today's competition, also, there were girls and some boys who received the presentation from their teachers, but they did not go through that fully before coming and participating in that competition, before presenting them to the jury. The judges will understand, they are experienced, they can catch such students very easily. So, the wise thing is to practice. You practice and try to come up with a very short pitch. Pitch means the concept that you want to push through, the main content that you want to convey. Besides this, based on your poster, anticipate questions that people might ask and be with answers. You should not be surprised by the questions. Again, to quote the example of today's experience, it was on quantum computing. There are some fundamental questions, fundamental concepts rather. In a normal computing, you use a binary approach, 0 or 1. In case of quantum, it is a qubit, not a bit here. Bit is 0 or 1, a qubit is 0 and 1 at the same time. If a student comes and makes a poster presentation on quantum computing, its advantages, challenges, etc., and doesn't know even the definition of qubit, how does it look? So, anticipate questions based on the content you have in the poster. At the same time, when you go and present, be enthusiastic, make an eye contact with your audiences, and smile. This gives an impression that you are confident, you know what you're talking about. That would give you a favorable response from your audiences. If it is a project presentation or a subject presentation, reflect that passion by means of enthusiasm. When you do that with enthusiasm, your passion becomes contagious. Your audiences will fall through. They would be convinced and they would take part in your work. If it is a competition and you are making this poster presentation, then the judges will concur and then give you more marks. So this is how one could master poster presentation technique. I hope these tips are helpful to you. We would post this PPT in the group, in teachers group. They would in turn share in respective club groups, WhatsApp groups. And as I mentioned earlier, there are many such training materials, training modules in the Young Scientist India.org website. So, whenever you feel like learning another technique or skill, you could always go there and then get onto it. Remember, a beautiful copy of Young Scientist India magazine is published every month, and in each month's magazine issue, there are two training modules we are incorporating. Beautiful, valuable knowledge being shared over there. So go over there. You can come to this YSI magazine tab in that website and go to any issue, even the previous month's issues. You can open those magazines and read. So these are the things that you should not miss. They are all available in that website, training modules, magazine copies, etc. Mr. Kiran suggested that we also watch a video today on winning innovation from Avishkar 2025. You people are aware that GYS Avishkar Awards competition had been completed recently. Winners were announced. In fact, we're going to do the prize distribution ceremony in New Delhi on 29th of this month. Going to be big. The chairman and managing director of National Research Development Corporation is going to be the chief guest, and people from various states. I think the winners are from 11 states this time, 25 winners. All of them would be coming over there to receive prizes. Before I play the video, he also asked me to share the leaderboard of the clubs as of today, as the GETA Young Scientist Program Team is aware. I will demonstrate that screen briefly and then go on to the video. After that video, we will wrap up the session. All right. So, if you look at the GIST club's participation in the past 2 months, I mean, those of you, the teachers in particular, uh, yesterday, I mean, you people that are watching, yesterday I suggested to summarize the participation and performance until next week. I suggested this to the GYS team as well as mentor teachers because it would be 2 months since we launched this initiative. The chief secretary of Andhra Pradesh, from there, the education commissioner, commissioner of school education, from there, the regional joint director, it came through that channel, and finally they suggested that we run these clubs, give 1 hour each week as a pilot program for 20 schools, and that's how we launched this. You people are aware. Otherwise, every activity from Young Scientist Program is only online and at national level. So, in these 2 months, if you notice, it is the leaderboard like in KBC, the Count Barega Karopati kind of presentation. Uh, this is sorted based on the number of events organized by each club, and if the number of events that they took part is the same, then descending order of the number of students that took part in those events put together. So, as I can see, there are 14 clubs that took part in these 2 months. Somebody, AK&K School, took part in 23 events. Somebody 9, the girl, JPHS Girls Zipurpalam, uh, 5, 5, 6, like this. And then the number of students that took part in various activities here. So please look at your school's participation, uh, see whether all of your events have been reflected over there or not. If not, you have the GYS team contacts. Please be in touch with them, and accordingly, uh, you improvise on the numbers if something is missing. GYS team would also be in touch with you, by the way, because my suggestion is to come up with a 2 month report uh, for the deputy EO, DEO, and then the RJD. I don't think we will go up to the commissioner for the interim summary. Uh, his suggestion, Mr. Vijay Ram Raju's suggestion on the day was to review after 4 months. So we will see how different clubs are participating, and how this effort is giving fruits up to the RJD this time. Okay, so please share the information, and make sure that your club's participation is getting into the database. If it is not uh, entered into the database, it wouldn't be reflected in the report, and there is no way we can communicate. Yeah, somebody said a few years ago, if it is not written down, it doesn't exist. There is a proverb like that, there's a saying like that. It has to be recorded. Only if it is recorded, it can be observed, noticed, and complimented. Otherwise, people, your audiences would think that there is no performance. Mr. Kiran also gave me another view of this data. All of this is live, by the way, live data. As you people complete various Google forms provided by the Young Scientist Program team, this data gets updated. So here it is in terms of these weekly workshops and the participation in them. Uh, JetPHS Girls Iprapalem took part in all the workshops, it seems. Also AK&K, then Ulipalem, Odrevu, like that, and some people took part only once or twice. Again, it is your choice. We are spending time for you, as suggested by the commissioner, by the RJD, in terms of utilizing our time, utilizing all these resources, the knowledge, etc., is your prerogative. How much interest you show, and how you pass it on to your students, how your school gets into the recognition in terms of science, technology, and innovation is all at your end. Okay, I will now switch back to the last component, which is basically one of the inspiring innovations that we want to present every week. Today, it is from the winning club of Avishkar. In the website itself, there are competitions listed under this tab. First one is Avishkar Awards. Okay, let me go slow so that your screens also are refreshed with what I am demonstrating here. Under Avishkar Awards, you see Avishkar Awards 2025. Below that, there is 2024 and 2023. Uh, These are also available. Let's look at 2025 because this is hot, very recent. So, from Avishkar Awards 2025, you will find details about the winners in this page. The beauty is you also have the respective winning project videos on the same web page. I'm in fact going there and then demonstrating the winning project for you. So let's look at the very first one, one of my favorites, in fact. It is an innovation to prevent accidents where there are sharp turns. Okay, YouTube channel. All right. So you see how this boy, presented it. They have an idea. At the same time, there is also a beautiful skill of demonstrating that idea. Excellent, really. That's why I said it as my favorite. At the end of it, he even came on a bike, crossed that particular sensor, and demonstrated how the light is coming up in the alert mechanism. See, concept, selection of the concept, selection of the problem, coming up with a solution, and then the presentation, the demonstration of the idea. This is a submission in Avishkar 2025 out of 1001 projects that we received from 25 states. This was the winner of the competition. They are receiving 30,000 rupees, a memento, a certificate uh, from the hands of the chairman and managing director of National Research Development Corporation. And this boy is from Arunachal Pradesh. I understand that it would take 3 days for him to come all the way to Delhi from his place. He has to come to Gauhati by train or bus, and then from there the flight to Delhi. We are compensating for the train flight tickets. That's a different story. Uh, but all of this recognition is because of the beauty in his innovation as well as presentation. This is how we would like to encourage members of all the GIST clubs to think creatively, learn the skill of observation, come up with solutions, learn the skill of presentation, present them effectively, and then get the recognition. Well, I hope you enjoyed these ideas as much as I did. I wish you all the best. In terms of the forthcoming competitions, Mr. Kiran told me that VVM practice tests are open still. So those of you that applied to VVM, you may continue to practice. And towards the end of the month, there would be the first round, second round, like that. All those schedules would be announced in due course in the WhatsApp groups and WhatsApp and Telegram channels of the Young Scientist program. Once again, my best wishes to you all. Thanks for inviting me today. I hope you enjoyed the session. We'll leave it there and close the session. Good day.